Welcome to This Week in BJJ, the world's first and only live Jujitsu show. Brought to you by Zebra Mats, simply Z-Best. Q5 Labs, Stay Alpha. And Defense Soap, defend what you have built. And here's your host, Budo Jake.
Hello, I'm Budo Jake, and this is This Week in BJJ. Today is May 9th, 2014, and we have a few things to talk about today. First, we're going to watch an exciting match from the IBJJF Boca Raton Open. Then we're going to talk about the World's pay-per-view coming up, and then some new IBJJF rules, 5 new products I want to talk about real quick, and then we're going to have a great interview with the one and only Geoff Glover. So now, let's get to the news. As you know, the IBJJF is putting on events all over the country and all over the world. It seems like there's an event almost every weekend. Oftentimes we focus on the big-name black belts and their performances at the events, but today I want to look at a match from the blue belt division. This is a classic example of a small guy versus a big guy, and everybody loves those kinds of matches. The small guy's name is Brian Harper, and I'm sorry I don't know the large guy's name, but here we go, and what a size mismatch we have. This was the absolute division of the Masters. And here you can see Brian going for a single leg, a great option against a larger opponent. And now he snuck his way around to the back. And he climbs up. Has to hold that position for 3 seconds, and there he goes, 4 points. You can see the crowd going wild in the background, looking for that collar. But that's a wise move to bring his arm up and over his head. Sometimes you can get a straight arm lock there. And he's off. Good job of breaking the grip there. A Sotogari attempt fails, and a nice sacrifice throw there. This is a featherweight versus an ultra heavyweight, so almost as light as they come and heavy as they come. Beautiful butterfly sweep. Doesn't end up on top, so no points for that, but he gets an advantage. And it's hard to deal with that much weight coming crashing down on you. Brian got kind of smashed there. He's able to recover half guard for a little bit here. There's a nice half guard pass. Put 3 points on the board, and then followed by 4 points for the mount. So now the score is 7-4. Dismounts. Here he's setting up a bread cutter choke. And he locks it in. Great match there, and I want to thank Brian for going out there and putting on the show there, even though the chance of success is slim when you're a guy of the featherweight division going into the absolute. It makes for some great jiu-jitsu to watch. Next thing I want to talk about today is the World's pay-per-view. This is one of the best events of the year. It's certainly the one that gets the most people tuned in and watching these pay-per-views. And as usual, we're going to provide you with coverage of every single mat. So if you have a friend or an instructor that's watching, you'll be sure to be able to watch them as long as you know what day, what time, and what mat they're going to compete on. And all that information's on BJJ.com. The pay-per-view will take place on IBJJFTV.com, and the event will most likely be 5 days, Wednesday through Sunday. If you just want to watch the big names, the big name black belts compete, then just tune in on Saturday and Sunday. But of course, if you have a friend or family member competing earlier, you might want to choose to tune in on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. And some guys even buy the whole package, Wednesday through Sunday, if you really want to watch a lot of jiu-jitsu. It's a great event, and I hope to see you there. I'll be doing commentary along with Caleb and Sean Williams. So once again, IBJJFTV.com, May 28th through June 1st. speaking of IBJJF, as you probably know, they have a rule book. It's available for free on BJJ.com, and just about every year they come up with some updates, and these are done in a committee. A lot of guys get together. A lot of the heads of each of the big teams get together and discuss which rules should be changed or modified or added. And there have been some additions and modifications this year. I'm not going to go into too much detail right now, but just to mention, there's some changes in regards to single leg takedowns, in regards to double guard pulls, and some other things. We're going to get one of the refs from the IBJJF, and we're going to film him talking about what those exact changes are. So you guys who might be competing at the IBJJF Worlds or just watching, at least you guys will know exactly what the new rules are. So watch for that video coming up very soon. Okay, time for new products. Got 5 new products to talk to you about today. The first one is, it's what you and I both are, the Jiu-Jitsu Nerd. This is a Jiu-Jitsu Nerd rash guard designed by Kinya Hashimoto, Japan's best Japanese Jiu-Jitsu reporter. And it's available in these colors, black and white, and available in all sizes. Check it out on BudoVideos.com. Next up, also by Kinya Hashimoto, this is the Jiu-Jitsu Priest Rash Guard. It's very similar to this show. Kinya has his show. It's all in Japanese. He talks about some of the latest events in the Japanese Jiu-Jitsu scene, and it's a great show. I encourage you to check it out on YouTube. It's called Jiu-Jitsu Priest, and this is the rash guard from that show. Third up is the Cosmos Rash Guard. This is definitely one of the coolest rash guards I've seen in a while. It's a slightly biased opinion of mine, but let's check out a quick video clip. The Artist Series by Nogi Industries is a limited edition line of rash guards that are conceptualized by me, Budo Jake. Each one is designed by a different artist that I handpick, and the Cosmos is the newest rash guard in the series. Designed by SoCal artist and BJJ student John Awesome, the artwork shows 2 grapplers in space surrounded by symbols of many of Jiu-Jitsu's signature moves. The Cosmos rash guard is designed for grappling, with reinforced stitching all around and artwork that will never fade. Available in short sleeve and in limited quantities. Get it today on Nogi.com or BudoVideos.com. We have a new color of the popular Kaizen Jiu-Jitsu gi. The white ones are just about sold out, but the blue ones have just come in. Right now, they're still available in all sizes on BudoVideos.com. It's a great gi. It has everything you want. Check it out. Finally, last up, we got JT Torres. And a lot of you guys know JT is one of the best lightweight competitors. He has taken the backs and finished from the back a lot of big names. He's an exciting competitor to watch. Trains with Andre Galvao nowadays, and I think you can learn a lot from him. He's finally put out his first DVD set, and it's available for pre-order right now. Let's take a look at a quick clip from the DVD set of JT Torres.
Okay, guys. So this next submission we're gonna work is submission from the mount. Okay. The back mount and the mount are probably the 2 most dominant positions in Jiu-Jitsu. So whenever you achieve one of those positions, you guys should be finishing the match without a doubt.
Very nice looking DVD set from JT Torres. I know I'm looking forward to checking that out. You can pre-order it now. It'll start shipping in about a week or 2. Now it's that time of the show where we go to an interview. This one is with the one and only Geoff Glover. Geoff's a good friend of mine, and he's an amazing competitor. I'm sure a lot of you guys watching the show have seen some of his super fights, and we're going to talk a lot about his super fights against Kaio and Bruno, and also about him doing commentary in Metamoris. But I think you're really going to enjoy this interview. It's in 3 parts. We're going to talk a lot, and then we're going to roll, and Geoff's also going to show a couple really cool techniques. So enjoy the interview, the training, and the sparring with Geoff Glover. Geoff Glover, it's been a while since I've seen you, and you've had a lot of changes in your life since we last chatted, so let's start with where are you training and teaching now?
Yeah, good to see you.
You too.
Yeah. Can't wait to choke you later, by the way.
Absolutely.
I'm at Victory MMA in San Diego, and I get to work alongside the one and only Dean Lister, as well as recently added to the gym is Chris Lieben, who's running the MMA program there. And it's a mixed martial arts gym. We have John X running the Muay Thai program, Coach Tony, one of the best boxers in the country, running the boxing program and also running the MMA program with Lieben. And it's just, dude, it's a killer team. I'm stoked to be there.
How did that come about? Because you've always been in Santa Barbara for a long time.
Yeah, you know the ties, man. You make one connection, one person leads you to a next. So like with Paragon, my team that I got my black belt with, there was Tyrone Glover. And if you guys don't know who Tyrone Glover is, he was the first black belt under Paragon. Phrygia's first black belt. And Tyrone, after graduating college, he had moved down to San Diego for a while, and he was training down there with some of these guys. And I was coming down to visit him frequently, and he introduced me, and you make friends, and then I would come through for a seminar every once in a while to that place. And then, the time was right, and they asked me if I wanted the job. That guy, Morongo, do you guys know who Morongo is? He was leaving the job, so the space was available, and I took it. They offered me the full-time job, 4 days a week, teaching 5 classes a day. Yeah, so it's pretty consistent work for me, and I love it.
It's a pretty rigid schedule. How are you adapted to that?
Yeah, it took a while. I've had a pretty easy life, pretty easy schedule the years leading up to that. I was living in LA at the Dud Ranch with Scotty Nelson's brother, and I was just teaching seminars. I wasn't teaching classes. I mean, my days were relaxed, but I worked on the weekends. And now it's the opposite. Now I work during the week, and on my weekends I like to party.
So Dean Lister, I can't think of 2 guys with 2 totally different body types, 2 totally different games than you and Dean. How is it training and teaching alongside Dean?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, we have totally different styles. We have totally different approaches. And I think that's what makes us and our gym so special. Dean teaches amazing. I love Dean's classes. I love participating and helping out and just being a part of his classes. The stuff he teaches is such a contrast to what I teach. And I love that. You know what I'm saying? I love different styles. So, yeah, I mean, you get the big guy moves with Dean, you get the little guy moves with me. Dean's style is, he likes to say that my style is movement-based. I have a movement-based style. And his style is like a control the guy type style. Makes sense? But it's cool. It's like Dean explained one time, he's like, one style, the big guy and the little guy style, one style is not like more technical than the other. It's just different. All right, it's different math. We're dealing with body. We're dealing with mass. Bro, you're talking about a 230-pound man. He's gonna be able to like bump me and flip me over, way easier than I could do to him. But I'm gonna be able to dip underneath into guard way easier than he ever could on me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's cool, man. It's like it's a challenge. We get all these different styles, and we may confuse the students at times. But like how often do you contradict yourself in jiu-jitsu? Like I do it constantly. I teach a class and I'll tell somebody like, hey, we never do that in jiu-jitsu. You never do this, you know what I'm saying? And then the next day some white belt is in a scramble and he literally does what I told the guy yesterday not to do. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, am I dumb? I'm a black belt. I'm supposed to know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I explain that to the students. I say, guys, I'm gonna contradict myself from day to day, from week to week, from month to month. My opinions on certain things are going to change. Get used to that. Yeah. And I think having the difference between Dean and I's style helps the students out in that way. Yeah.
And if you have an open mind, your opinions on things will change over time. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I've changed my opinion on things so many times. Yeah. I'm always wrong about so many things too. So.
Let's talk about some of the super fights you've had over the years. You don't do too many tournaments. Of course, you did ADCC 2011, but you had a super fight. Let's start with the first one with Kyra. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people thought, who is this kid? He doesn't compete much, at the bigger tournaments, so he doesn't have a chance against a world champion like Kyra. But I think he surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm a good actor. I think I beat Kyra with my acting. You know what I'm saying? Like I let him know through nonverbal communication that he's better than me. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Kyle, I know you're better than me, dog. I'm gonna come out and just do my best, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he even said it best. He got caught with one of my tricks, like straight up. I had him convinced that he was gonna beat me, and I didn't have anything. Like I was doing this stuff to Kyle the first time. Like I was like, oh gosh, oh you're so strong. Mm-hmm. Oh none of my stuff's working. Like oh man, I can't even gosh, I can't push you. Like usually I could have pushed him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it was like it would have been a waste of my energy. Because he's so good in scrambles too. So I was just trying to play this like, oh man, none of my stuff is working. Like, oh, like I would do like a week, I would go for the arm drag and just be like, oh, I can't even do arm drags. Like, oh, it doesn't even work, man. Then on like the third time, I'm like, oh, it doesn't work, man. I suck at these. Psych, I'm really good at it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was able to trick him that first time. Like, total trick, totally tricked him, you know? And man, that was awesome. That was such a cool day.
You mentioned the word trick, and I hear people sometimes tell me that too. Jake, you have a lot of tricks. Is that an insult? Is that like saying, man, you're so strong? Is a trick something that's not technical and is not always going to work? Or what's your opinion on
I think
tricks?
that's the whole thing, right? That's what we're all trying to do, is trick each other. We're not, like, jiu-jitsu's not about like being stronger than the other guy, right? That's what football is.
Yeah, but then there's guys like Roger Gracie. He can say, I'm going to cross-choke you from the mount.
Yeah.
You know it's coming. There's no surprise, and he's still going to do it, and you can't stop him.
Yeah, I guess that's the difference in styles. That's what's cool. The same martial art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu can have like 35 different styles or different approaches, depending on the body type and mentality and personality, you know, history, physical, or like, you know, your physicality. Yeah. All that stuff can change how your game is, you know. I try not to get stuck in being the flexible, technical guy, though, too. I try to overpower guys when I can. Because I've always relied on, like, going to my back and being flexible, and I can bend my legs over my head, you know. But I don't want to be a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
You know, don't be one-trick ponies. It's not good for you. Practice different styles.
So your first match with Kyra, you won. How did you feel after that?
I was surprised. I honestly thought I was going to lose that match. You know, I went into that match with the mindset of like, all right, I'm going to put on a good showing, dude. Kyle's the man. This kid's been winning everything. I hadn't put a gi on in like 4 years at that time. You know, I was like, whatever. I don't want to do gi, but I love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's the sport that got me to where I am and made me the man that I am. So I was like, you know, I'll put the gi on back for the community. You know, I'll do a match with this guy with the gi on. Because I wanted a no-gi match with Kyle, you know? But he wanted gi. He had a big gi tournament coming up. And I didn't want to, like, throw off his training. You know, I want him to have a super fight and still be on track with his training. Because I know what it's like, man, you know? We're all boys, you know? It's a small community, man. So I agreed to the gi match. And I hadn't put a gi on in 4 years. But I was surprised, man. I didn't think I was going to win that, you know? But, I don't know. When you win, you got to act like you've been there before, dude. Like, you'll when I win a match, you'll rarely see me like, this boy, like, dude, I'm like, quick, like, yo, let's get a match, bro. Shit, man, you all right? How's your neck, dog? I'm sorry, dude. Like, you know, like, that's my boy. We got mutual love for the same sport, man. I can't help it.
Humble in your victories.
I try to be, because I would hate if somebody, like, beat me and got up and was like, he sucks, I'm the man. But, I trained hard for this. Man, you hurt my feelings.
So then you guys met again. You had a rematch with Kyle at Metamoris, and it seemed like your attitude during the match and Kyle's was very different. It was a little more playful. Did that go how did that go?
It's real interesting for me, because the first match, I was underconfident. I was like, I can't beat this dude. And the second match, I was like, oh, bro, I got Kyle. I can beat Kyle, you know? Like, I felt what he had. I felt his attacks, you know? I can be playful. It's interesting, man. Life lessons. I learned a few life lessons in there, in these two matches, you know. But yeah, you know, I was trying to be playful. One thing I don't want to ever do is put on a boring match, regardless if I win or lose. So that was my intention with Metamoris 1. Was going in there. It was the first match on the card. I was like, dude, I got to do my community right. I gotta let the people see a badass match that's entertaining and fun and not boring and has dynamic scrambles and escapes and counters and all this stuff rather than us just sitting there and fighting guard, you know? So a lot of it was like, dude, there's no points? Pass my guard. I don't give a crap. You know what I'm saying? The points is the only reason I don't let people pass my guard. I don't care if you pass my guard. I'm fine when people pass my guard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm comfortable in any position, not just the bad positions. You know what I'm saying? So that was a big part of that. Was like, just because he passes my guard doesn't mean he's going to beat me. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the no points system. You know, so I was going to try to like tire him out, let him just like rope-a-dope. You know, rope-a-dope. But man, I got tired, I gassed out, and then he sunk in close on that arm, and I couldn't get the escape. My escapes weren't working, and I had to tap. You know, Kyle's the man. You know, so. But I learned. You know, I learned from that. So.
Do you think you need a third match to determine a true victor?
What do you guys think? Kyle Tara, Geoff Glover 3?
I think it needs to happen.
Does it need to go down? Do we need to wear singlets when we do it? Is there going to be a steel chair? Will there be a referee interruption? Who knows? Could happen. I would like to see it. I just like rolling with Kyle. Kyle, I'm going to come roll with you, man. I'm just coming to your gym. I'm just going to come train with you. And then we'll record it and sell it to the world for $10,000.
What would be your mindset in the third match with Kyle?
Depending on the rules, though, right? What rules would we do?
No rules.
No rules, just no time limit, just going for subs.
Yep.
I would try to take us back. I think that's the easiest way to tap anybody.
Would you be more or less playful than your second match?
I'm always playful, bro. I don't know. That's hard to say. I can't go into a match and be too serious. I just can't. Even the matches where I won, where you guys think I'm being serious and I've like won and like some of the greatest victories of my match, I was totally playful. And I wasn't giving 100%. And dude, I hate being gassed out, man. If I give 100%, I gas out, and that sucks. You guys all know what it's like to gas out on a match, bro. Like, that's terrible. All of a sudden, you're a wipeout. You know what I'm saying? You got to conserve that energy, dude. So that's my whole, like, keep it playful, like Heat on Gracie style. Like, keep it playful, wait for the right timing, be a trickster. You know what I'm saying? I trick you, make you think I don't have everything, and then I give it to you last second when you're not thinking.
Right.
You know? So I don't know. I would probably play something like that with Kyle, you know? I mean, that kid's defense is on point. His attacks are on point. His transition, his combinations. You gotta be. It's gonna be a war, baby. You're gonna have to battle, and the only way I could picture myself beating Kyle is like getting his back with a rear naked choke or something, you know, because footlocks don't work on that kid. It's really hard to get his arm, you know what I'm saying? Lapel chokes, like, come on, man. Kid's the best in the world. To be honest with you, what I want to see is I want to see Kyle fight Guilherme Mendes. I want to see them fight at Metamoris. That'd be cool.
That would be.
Because they both got subs at Metamoris, you know. And with the gi, and they're the same weight.
Yep.
I don't know if they've ever fought before. I think it'd be a beautiful match.
I think so too. Make it happen, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, Geoff, I still want to talk to you about your match with Bruno Malfacini.
Okay.
And your thoughts on Jiu-Jitsu in general.
Yeah.
Right when we get back.
Boom. Man, Jiu-Jitsu is so perfect for me. I don't mind giving up a few points if it's gonna make the match look cool. Doing the moves you're told not to do, but making it work anyway. I don't lose, I learn. If you give me money before a fight, I'm like, damn, I gotta do good, bro. Usually, like, that's my job.